So now that the whole bear in the woods thing is dying down, I want to take a second to reflect on what took place over the last couple of weeks. Because there was some clear miscommunication happening throughout this, and I find it really interesting because this is something that I see happen all the time. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that at the end, but first, let's talk about what happened. Women were agreeing by the millions that if they were lost in the woods, they'd rather be lost with a bear than with a man. And men were furious about this. I saw a lot of posts and memes about men saying, well, I hope you get killed by a bear. Or like, I saw pictures, people drew pictures of women getting mauled by bears and all kinds of stuff like that. Which, if your goal is to be seen as safer than a bear, I feel like telling women that you want them to die or you hope they get mauled or anything like that because of their opinion, I feel like that's counterproductive. That's what that is, right? And men were by and large not understanding why women were choosing the bear. Even though women were clearly explaining why, men were still not getting it. I think part of the reason is because they misunderstood the question. Every person that I got into like an argument or debate with about this phrased the question as, which would you rather be attacked by? And that wasn't the original question. The original question was, would you rather be lost in the forest with a bear or a man? Side note, the fact that so many men heard lost in the woods with a man and translated it to attacked in the woods by a man, that's weird. And I think it's really telling on like a subconscious level that that was the assumption that they made. I found myself asking men repeatedly, why are you assuming that the man in the woods is a rapist or an attacker? What made you assume that based on the question? Like, what part of man in the woods with a woman made you jump to, oh, he's attacking her? And what does that say about your perception of men as a man? A lot of the arguments and pushback from men were about how bears can do significantly more damage to somebody than a man can. A bear that's attacking you is pretty much guaranteed to kill you. Stuff like that. Like, it was about who could inflict more damage. So the men are hearing the answer and going, there's no way. Bears do so much more damage. There's no way they'd pick a bear over a man in an attack. The question isn't about who does more damage. The question isn't about being attacked. If a woman is lost in the woods with a bear, the bear probably wouldn't attack her. Bears actively stay away from humans if they can. In fact, if a bear is approaching you and you want it to go away, you just appear bigger and you yell really loudly. You say like, hey bear, or no, or whatever. And a lot of the times the bear will just go oh, this isn't food. They'll go away. Men don't have any equivalent for that, right? Bears are predictable. We've got steps that you can take that'll make it a lot more likely for you to not get attacked by a bear. There are no steps like that for men, right? And while you, the person watching this video, might go away if a woman said, leave me alone or go away or whatever, you probably are aware there's a lot of men that wouldn't. They would ignore that and keep pursuing, right? And if we're talking in terms of an attack or aggression in some format, right? A bear would only attack you to protect itself or its kids, or if it was starving, right? And it wouldn't enjoy attacking you. It wouldn't taunt you beforehand. It wouldn't desecrate your body before or after. None of that. But with men, all of those things can and do happen. Those are things that happen in real life. So as a woman, you'd have to be really optimistic to pick the man, right? This is the thing that happens all the time that I want to talk about. With this question, men were not told all men are monsters, all men are dangerous or rapists or killers or anything like that. That's not what happened. Women said, if I personally had to choose between being lost in the woods with a bear or a man, I personally would choose the bear. That is essentially a rejection of the man, right? But not any specific man, just an obscure random man who doesn't exist. Hypothetical man. And men across social media were so enraged by this rejection They started wishing death upon women. They started saying, well, let's just not help women ever with anything. If their life is in danger, we're not going to help them because they picked the bear. They were calling it sexist. They were saying women are calling men killers and all kinds of stuff because of a rejection that wasn't specific to any individual man. And it just reveals a much larger issue with men's inability to deal with rejection and how that translates into hate or violence. Because the fact that men in real life were saying, if you choose the bear over me, men, that is sexist and I hope you die. That is insane to me. It's clear as day that that's not what they meant. That's not what was being said or anything like that. But that's what they heard and that's how they responded. I'm saying all this to say that I believe that there's definitely some communication issues happening, but also I think that we really need to put under the microscope the way that we deal with rejection and the way that we respond to rejection. I don't know. This is just me thinking out loud. You guys can tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.